Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode, or maybe the first episode of uh, Sarah has the baby on the outside now.
That's not what we're called.
Oh, yeah, great expectations. But welcome back, Sarah,
Thank
and
you.
welcome to this whole world, little man.
Yeah, it's
It's
wild.
exciting. I know. It really is, actually. It's super fun. So, he's going to be talking alongside us here, folks,
Mhm.
which is totally awesome, actually. Love it. Yeah, he's
Like
like
that.
this. Yeah. Yeah, he'll he'll do well. Like we need to groom him to be able to run Conquest for uh, another account soon.
Uh, Someone commented, or no, sorry, it wasn't a comment. Someone sent me a DM on Discord about they had seen that I had put out my one of my conquest videos, and they were like, thankfully you're already back, or something along those lines, or whatever. And then the second point was, your kid is going to be better than us at conquest.
Aw,
I was
I'm
like,
sure
oh,
he'll be better than I am. I just go in and bludgeon things. So
yeah, it's fine.
yeah, yeah. I did all the way through the 200s today because
Oh,
because I needed to. I mean, it's like this vicious cycle, right? Like they haven't dusted all of like pretty soon
mm-hmm.
it will be the truth, but like they haven't dusted my set 6 yet. And so
Right.
what I'm trying to get as much of it dusted and into, so if I can get all the materials to get Datacrons right now, then I can spend all my data cash now,
So you don't
and
cap.
then so I don't just like waste a bunch. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up wasting about 10 million
I
data
think
cash, which is still tragic, but
I think that's what I ended up wasting last time. I think this time I got it closer to 5. But did you see that they extended when they're going to dust?
oh, I didn't see that. When are they dusting it
They
now?
they posted that today. So Meathead said that they are gonna dust on the 22nd now, on Saturday.
Oh,
Um,
that's player friendly.
yeah, they're doing that apparently because of the store not refreshing properly. So it gives everyone time, I guess, to get the refresh or when it refreshes. I don't know. I don't really understand the logic, but I think it is player friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I like that a lot actually. I mean, honestly, I like that they have all that stuff in the store that like in a place where you can hit the refresh button. I
Yeah.
actually adore that. That's amazing.
I actually refreshed that store a few times to get ahead on Datacrons. Me.
Wow. You probably refreshed it more than I did then, because I didn't do that much.
I was like, I need some Datacrons to throw these whatever materials into so I don't cap out.
Right. Well, I mean, been going through all these measures. Like I haven't grabbed any of the data cache from either of my conquests, and you have to
Hmm.
deal with the OCD issue of the little red dot of death.
Yeah.
Not so. Thank you for that.
Well, you told me not to do that, and then I was like, oh, I shouldn't do that either. So now I have a red dot on mine
Well,
as well.
well, I mean, data cache. It's a really tough thing to get, and honestly, I would venture to say that is the worst part of conquest is trying to farm data cache. Like the material grind
Hmm.
isn't nearly as just awful and soul killing. It's the data cache that you have to. Yeah, it's just miserable as hell. So I'm really glad that at least this time that's like now I'm already in sector 4. I'm done with sector 4 on my main, so now I can
Hmm.
just farm that for a few days.
Right, and get the materials. I find that like the data cache requires more micromanagement than the materials.
What do you mean? Oh, just because it's limited, it's
Just
capped.
yeah, just because you do hit that cap. Like I feel like I have to pay attention to it way more.
It's interesting that you hit the cap. Like I don't mean that in any negative way, but like you don't care as much about Datacrons, of course.
Mm-mm.
That's totally fine. Uh, I'm just it's interesting that like even you're hitting that cap though.
Yeah, I think that is like just the nature of how they're going to make the Datacrons expire or dust every single at the end of every season for them because I like it's not even that like I'm going to hit the cap. It's I did hit the cap. I was at 29 points something. Like I was basically there. I'm like, "Oh, I will 100% when all of these expire, all of it will be wasted." So it's been tedious.
Yeah, no, that's actually really wonderful news. Hopefully, I mean, just wonderful news that they pushed back the date. Like, what do you think? Do you think the chances? What do you think the chances are that they make these two changes permanent? They put the things in the store that you can
Mhm.
refresh for players, and they push back the time that we dust the set. So,
Mm. I could see them pushing back the time more versus adding the store or making the store change permanent.
well, I mean, before Conquest started, like there's some people who had, like over 10 of the
That's
new, of like level 9 Datacrons already for
they had
set
level
8.
9 already.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. No. No. That's insane.
That's too bad. I mean, it is too bad. It's whatever, though. I'm. People. I don't know. So I've seen some people say, like, really negative things. Like, oh my gosh. Like, what? They're letting people have these so early. And I'm like, where does it hurt you? Like, why are you so grumpy? Because the first time you could conceivably face them, I guess, like
Mhm.
maybe in arena, but arena doesn't matter because there's no crystals. Like it's a joke.
Right.
The only other time, like the next time you'll actually face someone with these datacrons, is when GAC starts, and they would have already had a week to farm them anyways, and they would have already destroyed you regardless. Like they're gonna have the same number of datacrons when GAC starts,
Mhm.
regardless. So who
Well,
cares when they purchase it?
and they didn't change when we had access to them. They just put them in a different spot because they weren't where they were supposed to be. So I guess the biggest point is that you could refresh the store and just keep buying them for shard shop currency.
Right, like the shard shop currency thing. And I actually, I know that a few people just went totally nuts and bought it, like, and I didn't. I just
Hmm.
didn't. I bought the things I normally do, and that's it.
Yep, that's fair. I bought a few of the actual crons because I needed to throw. I needed to spend data cash somehow.
Nice. Well, this is fun. We can you coming back means we can talk about Datacrons some. This is interesting. Do you have your
Super.
Mara? Do you have your Mara Relic 7 yet?
No, not yet.
Um, are you going to?
I don't know. This is the thing with Datacrons is that I feel like they just are trying to distract me and I'm trying to like stay on target
What are they distracting you from? What do you
from my Lord Vader farm
Datacrons are distracting? Oh, because of the relics.
because of the relics. Yeah,
Hmm.
and that is very relic heavy.
Don't you go losing me any territory wars because you can't. You're too cheap for Relic 7 Mara Jade, Sarah.
Rude. So rude.
I say these things as I'm like actively trying not to participate in territory wars as much as I can.
I was gonna say, I feel like I did a few battles for you last time, but
Did you? I don't think you did recently. Thought I did them.
might have been the one before that.
Either way, I've been trying to just keep that load off of you, but yeah, I mean, I don't care if you don't want to get Mara Jade. I just and I can totally understand like Lord Vader is very very relics intensive.
Yeah, and all I have left are the Relic 8 requirements. So evidently I left all the pain for the end.
Yeah,
It's
good.
fitting.
That sounds good. At least you're working on a Tuscan. Like you're kind of working toward your Tuscans a little bit.
Yeah, there's two that are relic now.
2 out of
So,
5. It's like a 40%.
yeah,
That's like a B plus in Canada.
basically. I mean, they're good enough for conquest.
40%. It's pretty good. Hashtag low standards.
Ah,
People are always like, "You're so stupid," making fun of Canada when you're from America and their Canada school system. I'm like, that's the joke, man. Of course, it's the joke.
oh man. No, but I'm farming
I'm like, what did you go to school in Canada to not understand that that's a joke?
terrible. Uh, what's the one that's farmable right now? Chieftain? Whichever one it is. That's the one I'm farming. Feel like I
Yeah,
have to farm them for the raid.
yeah. I wonder what's gonna go on with that. Like, I'm sure that they're gonna be pretty baller in the raid. I'm pretty sure. I don't know really like a lot of their mechanics though. It's like, can this new character be like I doubt that the raid boss can be stunned.
Right. I don't think so.
Right. Well, so if the raid boss can't be stunned, then like a big part of their mechanics is just kind of wasted.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna take advantage of the raid mechanics with them. With all of the factions, but it just seems very, I don't know. I feel like not having them will be a mistake.
Yeah, man, I'm struggling with Professor X because I only have one relict Tuscan, and
Hmm.
I mean it's gonna be so long to farm them anyways. But I'm like I would love to skip that farm in favor of a lot of other things.
I think it's gonna depend. Like if you can get by, well, and it also will depend on two things. Can your guild complete the raid without them so that you can get by without doing it? And two, do you care if you only have gear 10 Tuscans and are getting like a lower reward, personal reward track versus if you had relic 7 Tuscans?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I need to get on my main account. I need to get them to 7 anyways, because well, what's the final reward tier? Is it like 8 or 9? Or sorry, 7 or 8?
I think it's 8.
Yeah. I don't know if I can get them to 8. Jeez, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to ask. It's a big ask to get relic 8 Tuscans, but they can do some work too. They're really strong.
Um, I just had a thought actually.
Oh,
So they didn't,
congratulations.
thank you. It's that Canadian school system. So in the road ahead, they didn't mention the rewards for the raid, which I still would like to know how that's going to work. But
Mm-hmm.
um,
I agreed.
if the final tier is Relic 8, do you think that the raid would be another place where we could see Relic 9 materials?
I hope so. I mean, so Solo and I were talking about it on the podcast last night, and like most of the players in this game, like even the people I talk to a lot, like don't really acknowledge Relic 9 as a thing.
Hmm.
Like, so there's like two thoughts. Number one, I'll be surprised if there's not Relic 10 soon because that like the whales in this game are going to start losing interest in Relic 9 eventually, and they need something else to strive for. But on the other hand, I don't think that Relic 10 is coming because no one engages in Relic 9 yet. Like people barely hang out with Relic 8 except for
Right.
his requirements. Like 8 is still like Professor X, my alternate account, still pretends like that like Relic 8 doesn't exist for the most part.
So do I.
Yeah, like seven's enough. Hashtag 7 is enough.
Yep. I don't I don't want to take them past 7 if I don't have to.
Right. Well, yeah, I don't think anyone wants to. Yeah, and it's such a pain to farm all the bayonets and stuff to get the right stuff. And so, I mean, my alt has I don't know 700 or 800 of the Rancor raid pieces,
Hmm.
just sitting there for Relic 8 because I don't put Relic 8 on people.
No.
Much less Relic 9. Like 9, I mean, I did a compare the other day on GAC. I was facing the 32nd biggest account in the game. Um, and Relic 7 minimum. No one, like, they had no one below Relic 7. Um,
That is
but
insane.
yeah, it was funny. It was so demoralizing. Well, it was demoralizing because you could see on the compare that I had a lot of green.
Hmm.
And then when you looked at it, it was like, oh, hey, congratulations, Zick. You have the most Relic 6s and the most Relic 5s and the most Relic Gear 12s. I'm like, thanks.
Because he didn't have any.
I know, because he had 0. And that happens too if I'm facing like one of the really hardcore like mod people who it's like, oh, hey, look at that. I have more plus 10 speed mods
Hmm.
because they've already like either upgraded them or trashed all of them in favor of bigger and better mods. So, and anyways, um, the compare though was I had 16 Relic 9s on my main account. And I feel like that's ludicrous. Like that's more than most people have. Like it's probably more than some guilds have, you know? For I mean maybe not cuz everyone needs ad rad, but
Right.
the thing is Relic 9 is like I only have 16 of them after how many years of play? And the guy I was facing had 42.
Oh man.
And, there are people who have more than that. Probably not that many more than that, but like in the 40s. And that's where we were when Relic 8 turned into, like, when we got Relic 10. Or, sorry, when we got Relic 9, people were in the 40s
Right.
with Relic 8. So, I don't know. I don't know where
Okay,
we're
I
going to
see what
be.
you're saying. So it could
Like,
be like par for the course kind of thing for Relic 10 to come out now, if
yeah,
you're
like,
comparing to the top end.
right. Well, and I mean, I don't think it's an invalid point at all, honestly, when I say, like, the the whales need like a challenge. They need something interesting to them. It's just the majority of the game already doesn't interact with Relic 9. It just doesn't
Right.
happen. Like it's just kind of funny when you see someone at Relic 9, you're like, "Really? Okay. Are you sure you did that?" Like
And it's on someone not good.
sometimes, yeah. Like Tuscans and stuff. I've seen people do that. So to back to your point, and I've just been yammering forever, and I apologize for that. The with the raid rewards, that would be fantastic if they gave us something that would let us advance our roster more. Um,
Absolutely.
they kind of have to. I just wonder if it's going to be Relic 9 stuff or if it's going to be Relic 8, because most people still pretend that Relic 8
Mm,
doesn't exist as well. Maybe both.
maybe both. I just feel like that you've got to do something, I guess, for both of them realistically, to make them more accessible. Because otherwise, we're just going to be in the same position that we're in right now, and I'm going to continue ignoring Relic 8 and Relic 9 unless I have to.
Right. I mean, like we want them for territory battles, right?
Hmm.
Like that's probably the biggest incentive right now.
Right. Yeah, so like I took Finn to Relic 8. Oh, and my Acolyte. My Acolyte is Relic 8. Like,
Acolyte, not initiate.
I'm pretty sure it's Acolyte. It's one of the two.
I think it's Initiate, actually.
Maybe it's Initiate. You know my roster better than me. I don't pay attention to my Night Sisters, and she's up there, one of them.
I know, I used to shame you so bad for not having Relic DACA.
Well, now I do. She's just not as high as the other one,
That's fine.
which is just
Are
sad.
we looking? Here, let's
I'm looking. It is Initiate. She's 8. Relic 8. Like,
uh and you only have
uh,
a Relic 3 on DACA. That's okay. That's cute.
that's cute. But I mean, that was a territory battle thing.
Right. Well, I mean, that makes sense. It makes sense. Like Relic 8, that's fine. Like that's generous of you, in fact. I'm kind of sad. Like Marin has bad news for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she's like, "Nope, I don't like Initiate. Initiate can go do
Sit on the
whatever she's always
bench.
been." Yeah.
She still sits on the bench. She's Relic 8, and I'm like, nope, you don't get to come along.
You haven't even Zeta'd her.
Nope.
How are
Mm-mm.
you doing on Zetas, by the way? I've been
Uh,
feeling the crunch, especially on Professor X.
I noticed that I've been buying them for you like crazy. I have 200 and something Zeta. I try to keep 200 Zeta mats at all times. So right now I'm okay. But I also don't apply Zetas right away. So all of the marquees that have come out, they don't have Zetas.
I see that with Marin, yeah.
Yeah. I wait until I realize that I'm going to use the character and they need a Zeta.
So
So, yeah.
So, Sarah, what's the most exciting thing in the game for you right now? You've been out, well, you've been playing the game. I mean, you've been back and doing things in the game for a while now. But
Mhm.
you're back making content again, which is great. So excited about that. And I haven't talked to you about the game like a ton. What's the thing you're most excited about in the game right now that you're like, oh yes, we get this. This is happening right now, or this is gonna happen. Like, what are you looking forward to? What's exciting?
I mean, I was really excited that we were getting Riva unlocked.
Yeah, it's fun.
So that was great. Um, I feel like, and this is gonna sound weird because I never finished the game, but I'm pretty excited for Survivor Cal.
Oh man, you don't want to tell Kate that you didn't play that game.
I technically played it, I just didn't finish it.
That won't matter. She's just brutal. She's like, no, you didn't play the game. Why didn't you play the game? Why didn't you play the game?
Yeah, I saw her give you crap for that. I shouldn't have mentioned it. But I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm even weird. I think because I know he's tied to territory battles, but I'm weirdly excited for it. And I feel like I've noticed that they seem to be expanding the territory battle map horizontally for the player base. Like so we've all most guilds have sort of hit their cap or their ceiling right now for territory battles. And now that they're adding these missions and opening up these other planets, it's kind of giving everyone um more opportunity to have the territory battle map get expanded without it actually expanding too drastically, and it doesn't feel like it's too soon. So I think all of those characters are what is exciting me most right now.
that's fair. Yeah, because Marin's gonna get her own mission
Hmm.
on Dathomir. Damn it all.
And I mean, you saw my sisters, so clearly I'm ready.
You're ready to ignore that node like a boss. Your next highest relic is gonna be
Uh,
Marin.
oh man.
Oh no,
Yep.
she's only required at gear 12. So yeah, never mind.
But Initiate's ready to go in.
Initiate's ready to, yeah, she's punched her ticket to just sit on a bench alongside their gear 12 comrades. It's too bad, man. No, I don't know. I like it, but at the same time, I'm like, do I really need more things I have to do during territory battles?
Right. And I get that, and I feel like it depends. So like, I don't know. I don't know if I should say this, but if you're at the point, and this I realize is like an end game thing, so a lot of mid-tier guilds probably aren't feeling this. But if you're maxing out how many stars you can get in a phase, you don't necessarily need to do all of the combats, because a lot of those points are going to be coming from your deployment and your platoons, etc. So it kind of
Right.
eases off that time intensiveness.
Yeah, I keep thinking like what I want to do, what I need to start practicing and studying is like what's the best set like lineup of teams that can get most of your waves
Mhm.
by auto.
Yeah, yeah. I know so
Like,
many people who just auto.
well, because the missions aren't worth that much. Like if you end up failing, go 0 for 2. People are
Mhm.
like, yeah, whatever. It like doesn't really matter.
Right.
Two
Yeah.
hundred thousand, whatever, man.
Yeah, as long as you deploy,
Yeah,
that's the goal.
it's nothing compared to deployment and platoons. Those are the two paramount things. And then do ships if you want. If you're like, okay, like so put low effort in except for ships.
Right.
Like get
Well,
your batters for ships because they're worth more. It's
a
only one
lot.
wave.
Well, a lot of the time I'll switch over to Professor X and I'll just do a couple ship battles if you haven't done anything already. And then I'll just
Uh,
deploy.
and then I don't notice because I wasn't intending to do that.
Like we've done two ship battles and we're good.
And we're good. I'm spent. Honestly, that account is like built for day one
Hmm.
because everything in that on that account that's worth a damn is relic 5,
Yep.
and then I have nothing at relic 6 or higher.
Actually, the only other thing I will do is Jabba
Oh
because
yeah, I
you've
can do
got
Java
Jabba.
now. Yeah, yeah, and I actually have a few of those characters. Like I think I got Boosh to relic 8, so and Chrysanthemum's 8. Jabba's only 7.
Or Jabba.
Poor Jabba. Nah, I eventually want that whole team to be high relic. So, that's going to be an anomaly. But I'm excited to see like what you know. I want to see if I can start getting some real holds against like the real counters because we've kind of been in this weird land of like everyone using Afra to kill Jabba
Hmm.
and everyone using Kenobi to kill Jabba real easy because Cat is such a nice
Ron.
what's that? Yeah, well,
It's
she had.
her no revive or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was just thinking like she's like a good can opener or whatever. Like she just kills Chrysanthemum, and
Hmm.
now Chrysanthemum can't just be chumped like that. So like getting him relic 9 and making them kill Chrysanthemum twice, pretty good.
Yeah, that's
In
gonna be a
theory,
pain to deal with.
yeah, it's wonderful. That's
Ugh.
why instead of like the generic like relic 5, what relic is your Chrysanthemum?
Relic 5.
No, I know. No, I figured though. Uh, but yeah, my whole thing is just make that team so tanky and hit so hard that people who aren't prepared for it just get knocked out. They don't even know what hit them,
Hmm.
and they're like, "Man, I did no damage to him." I'm like, "Yeah, because I spent like 3 months doing nothing but working on this team." Hopefully that works, or maybe the Cal team will just be like, "Yeah, we just dumpster the Java team super easy." I'll be super sad. Oh, hey, we don't have time. We gotta do trigger photo. We gotta do it now.
Okay.
This is crazy. It is urgent. It's not that urgent. I'm just being ridiculous. Hold on.
It's a pretty triggering photo.
Oops. Oh, I went the wrong direction. Hello, Jedi Knight Guardian.
The Elf Jedi.
Yeah, Elf Jedi, yeah. Oh, it's not even on this list. Hold on. All right. And we have it here. So there's a few really triggering elements to this one. So a viewer sent this in. They failed. Just on the brink of success.
Hmm.
twice in that same zone against really tough characters. And the Malleus one is like, gosh, because like his kit just resets him. He starts with max health and max
Yeah.
protection at the start of a fight. So like he's just like, yep, this is tis barely a flesh wound.
Oh, that's so bad.
It's really sad. I think the most triggering part of it, though, honestly, is the fact that he didn't wait long enough to screenshot it for the stupid little wavy white lines to go away, and you can barely see it, and it's just like there's this big. It's almost like a checklist or something, like something like you've crossed it off the list, but you haven't. You haven't killed those squads, so don't cross them off yet.
Oh.
You still have those squads to kill, and I can't hardly see what you have to kill left because the stupid wavy light lines. So there you go. Hashtag triggered.
Oh, that's just terrible.
It is. All right, guys. So you guys have been a little bit spoiled lately, and I don't blame you for getting soft and indolent in your time, just being able to watch the whole show on just my channel. But we're not about that life. We got to go to Sarah's channel and go to the second half of the show where
Mhm.
swearing is allowed, and we'll see if she swears around her baby or not. But
I will.
uh, good. Me too. But yeah, we're gonna go over to her channel. So in the video description, you can click on it. There's probably even at this moment a link that you can click on it if you've made it this far. Go check it out. Hit the like and subscribe button on both of our channels, please, while you're at it.
Mhm.
And we'll see you over there in just a minute for the second half, where we'll roast something and someone.
Someone.
It'll be great and great.